We are back here at Uindy TV News. I'm Mia Lemkuel.
And I'm Charles Foster.
We start tonight with breaking news. Butler University's police department received a request for a wellness check about an individual standing on the ledge of a parking garage.
Just before 2 p.m., IMPD officers responded to the threat of an adult male who was threatening to jump from a parking garage. Sam Fingard was a student at Butler University studying accounting. Despite officers' attempt to bring Fingard to safety, he jumped and went over the edge of the parking lot.
EMS was on scene and immediately transported Fingard to a local hospital. Fingard was unfortunately declared deceased at the hospital.
Uindy TV News starts now.
Uindy Student Affairs announced last Wednesday candidate pairs for the upcoming Student Government Association election for president and vice president. Elections, both online and in person, will occur April 7th through 14th. Voting opens and closes at noon on those dates. 3 candidate pairs are running for SGA president and vice president, and each pair has outlined a vision for enhancing the student experience and fostering positive change within our campus community. Student Affairs encourage all students to review each pair's campaign statements as you prepare to cast your votes.
Issues 36.1 and 36.2 of Etchings Magazine, Uindy's student-run publisher, were recognized as a first-place winner of the 2024 American Scholastic Press Association. Etchings is managed by students taking English 379 and English 580. Students select writing and art pieces to publish, using submissions from Uindy students, faculty, staff, and alumni. After submissions are finalized, students in the course design, edit, and publish an issue by the end of a semester. Liz Whitaker, Associate Professor of English and co-advisor of Etchings Press, said, "There is a lot of talent at Uindy, and our Literary Fine Arts magazine is an excellent opportunity to showcase it."
Count It Out, directed by Vicky Abeliz, explores the impact of math literacy on society. On March 31st, Shortridge High School is screening the documentary in association with the University of Indianapolis Shaheen College of Arts and Sciences. This is a part of the International Screening Initiative this month to raise awareness about math literacy disparities.
A text message scam claiming unpaid tolls is targeting Indiana drivers. The Indiana Department of Transportation warns it does not text about toll road payments and urges people to ignore and delete these messages. The scam threatens fines and legal actions while including a fake payment link. The FBI is calling it a smishing scam and has received over 2,000 complaints. If you receive a text to pay off a toll, report it to the Internet Crime Complaint Center and avoid clicking any links.
Major funds may be moved to help fix roads in central Indiana due to proposed bill changes. Central Indiana has been struggling with their roads as they seek more funding to get their roads in good condition. Officials argue the current distribution of funds fails to reflect the actual cost of road maintenance, which contributed to poor road conditions around Marion County. However, Bill 1461 had a proposed change that would add $50 million to Marion County roads and secondary streets. Many involved in the vote explained how this must be done and would help fix a massive issue on central Indiana's busiest roads.
On the east side of Indy lies the East Side Flatwoods, the largest unprotected urban forest in Marion County. This expansive area is home to diverse plant and animal species, offering a natural retreat within our urban landscape. The advocacy group Forests for Indy is raising concerns about the lack of protection for this vital green space. Without proper safeguards, the East Side Flatwoods could be at risk of development or neglect, leading to the loss of an important ecological and recreational asset for our community. Forests for Indy are urging city officials and residents to recognize the value of preserving the East Side Flatwoods. They believe that with collective effort, we can ensure this urban forest remains a sanctuary for wildlife and a haven for nature lovers in Indianapolis.
Law enforcement has brought down a significant drug trafficking network operating in Muncie, sentencing 6 individuals to a combined 87 years in federal prison. Jamar Hill, a 30-year-old resident from Muncie, was identified as the leader, orchestrating the transport of fentanyl, cocaine, and methamphetamine from San Diego to Muncie for distribution. The operation was dismantled after years of investigation, and key players like Terry Hill and Lance McGee receiving 5 and 15-year sentences, respectively. Authorities seized large quantities of narcotics during the takedown, including 2,000 grams of fentanyl and 203 pounds of methamphetamine. Officials hailed the operation as a major victory in combating drug trafficking and reaffirmed their commitment protecting communities from devastating impact of illegal drugs.
Police in Indianapolis arrested a 69-year-old woman for a shooting in the city near the Northwest Side. Officers responded just before 10 a.m. to a senior living complex. A man was shot and was located after police arrived to the scene. They detained 69-year-old Paulette Smith as the suspected shooter.
Parents in Howard County are concerned after a kindergarten teacher at Taylor Elementary School in Kokomo, Indiana, was accused of taping students' mouths shut during class. The teacher, who hasn't been charged with any crime, allegedly used packing tape on the children, claiming it was part of a game, which caused some students to cry. While the teacher's children didn't experience this, they witnessed it happening. Parents, including Heaven Russell, are frustrated that the school didn't notify them directly about the incident, and the district is currently investigating the matter. The community is waiting further information on the teacher's status.
Riley Hospital for Children successfully performed a rare spinal surgery on 9-month-old Harper Morton from Boonville. She was diagnosed with congenital vertebral dislocation, the condition affecting her spine and organs. Dr. Tyler Kreisman explained that Harper's spinal cord was compressed, requiring decompression and stabilization with screws and rods. The complex procedure, aided by 3D modeling, was completed in just 3.5 hours instead of the expected 12. Harper's mother, Jennifer, expressed gratitude, calling the doctors lifesavers. Her recovery is progressing well, with continued monitoring ahead.
It seems like Mother Nature can't seem to make up her mind. What's going on, Jace?
Yeah, so that rain, the occluded front, moved out of the way yesterday. That brings through some cooler weather, cooler weather than we've been seeing over the last few weeks. As we head into tonight, the sun is peeking through. Enjoy it. Might be the last time we see that sun for the next few days as some rain and moisture is heading into the area. But as we head into tonight, things will cool off a little bit, but more notably some warmer weather, but some rain is in the forecast. We'll get to that in the next segment. But first, some more local news.
National, local, campus. Headlines you won't find anywhere else. From the White House to your community, we've got you covered. Stay informed and stay connected. Don't miss out on the stories shaping our world. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Uindy TV News.
On to more local news, on Monday, the Indiana Senate passed House Bill 1393. Under this bill, detention facilities are required to notify the sheriff if they believe a person arrested for felony or misdemeanor is undocumented. The sheriff would report them to ICE. Other bills that have been proposed similar to this include protecting officers from being sued over immigration enforcement action, making undocumented status in Indiana a Class A misdemeanor, and criminalizing an officer's refusal to participate in immigration enforcement action. House Bill 1393 will return to the House for an evaluation of the changes that Senate has made.
Mike Braun signed his first bill into law yesterday. He signed House Bill 1149, which establishes an online portal through the Indiana Department of Agriculture. This will help Hoosier farmers get information and communicate with the state government. The draft also states that there will be opportunities for the public to comment on regulations through the portal that impact the state's rural economy.
In April of 2024, Olivia Ryland, Tri-West High School graduate and mother, died of an overdose of meth and fentanyl. Jacob Wireman of Danville has now been charged with a level 1 felony dealing a controlled substance resulting in Ryland's death. Court documents feature reported conversations via text between the two regarding drug-related transactions. The last text Ryland sent to Wireman said, quote, "Oops." Wireman texted her back asking what she meant by that, and she never responded. And when he returned home shortly after, he found her dead in bed. Ryland had just completed rehab prior to her death, and his hearing is scheduled for Monday in Hendricks County.
A trio of weekend crimes that took place on the near east and northeast side of town had led to 3 arrests. On Sunday morning, Andre Kennedy Jr. was shot and killed by his cousin. On Friday, a man in a senior living facility claimed he was shot and wounded by his wife while sitting on the toilet. 2 hours later, IMPD says another woman shot and critically wounded a man after they got into an argument in the parking lot outside of a food mart on 29th. IMPD officer Tommy Thompson tells the public to stop using firearms to solve conflicts. Formal charges in all 3 cases are still pending by the prosecutor's office.
A man was arrested for stealing an ambulance and crashing into another vehicle and trying to run away. IMPD got a call of the stolen vehicle on East 21st Street in North Shadeland Avenue around 11 a.m. Tuesday. Officers said the ambulance was unoccupied and parked in front of a business when it was stolen. The man was arrested while trying to flee on foot, and there were no injuries in the crash.
Multiple adults in a home located in Eaton were charged with counts of neglect and cruelty to an animal. Officers were dispatched to the home after a mother requested a welfare check on her son. When they arrived, they saw a child sitting on a couch. Both of them were covered in bugs. Multiple children were found playing video games on a bunk bed covered in animal feces. In total, the officer found 15 animals, 5 dogs, 8 cats, and 2 rabbits. This is an active investigation.
The Jonas Brothers are bringing their Jonas 20 Living the Dream 20th anniversary tour to Indianapolis. Nick, Joe, and Kevin will stop at Gamebridge Fieldhouse on November 2nd with the All-American Rejects as special guests. The tour is to celebrate their 2-decade-long journey and features their most popular songs throughout the years. Tickets go on sale at 10 a.m. on Friday, with the pre-sale starting tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Chase, I saw that this weekend might get into the 70s. I hope that's true.
It is indeed true. As we look at tomorrow, though, 56 degrees. Some rain chances are going to be possible as the day progresses. As the high pressure moves out, the low pressure will move in, bringing in some moisture and some rain on Thursday night and into Friday. But it's a warm front, and as that moves through, Friday will be rainy most of the day as the warm front fully pushes through as we get into Saturday. Saturday is more of a scattered kind of rain day as that pressure system sits right over Michigan, stretches down all the way to Dixie Alley, and that'll bring some severe weather chances on Sunday. High of 72 still, but that moisture is shooting up from the Gulf and up towards Indiana, so some chances of some severe weather as we head into Sunday.
National, local, campus. Headlines you won't find anywhere else. From the White House to your community, we've got you covered. Stay informed and stay connected. Don't miss out on the stories shaping our world. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Uindy TV News.
Since March 13th, the Florida Keys have been on fire. Known as the 344 fire, it has spread more than 26,000 acres. The Florida Forest Service says the fire is under control but not fully contained, only 65%. Officials say dry conditions and land development started the fire. This makes an increased threat for the state as a whole.
Unfortunately, Florida is not the only state fighting flames. A state of emergency has been declared as wildfires rage out of control in the Carolinas. The fires have scorched almost 6,000 acres of land and has destroyed multiple buildings and homes. Because of the state's ongoing dry conditions, the governors of North and South Carolina have set in place a statewide burning ban. No one is to burn outside or they could face jail time. South Carolina is fighting fire with fire, and so far it's been successful as hundreds of acres have been set ablaze by firefighters to eliminate the growth between evacuated residential areas and active wildfires.
West Virginia becomes the first state to ban artificial food dyes. Governor Patrick Morrisey signed House Bill 2354 into law, which prohibits certain harmful food dyes in school lunches and unhealthy food items in the state. Morrisey says that West Virginia ranks at the bottom of many public health metrics, which is why there is not a better place to lead the Make America Healthy Again mission. The bill will go into effect on August 1st. Beginning on January 1st, 2028, the same dyes, along with preservatives such as butylated hydroxyazole, will not be allowed in drug or food items. This extended deadline allows companies time to adjust, protecting customers against price increases.
Top members of President Donald Trump's cabinet accidentally added the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic to a group chat about highly classified information about U.S. military strikes in Yemen. The messages from Trump's cabinet sent authentic and detailed operational plans that, quote, contained operational details of forthcoming strikes on Iran-backed rebels in Yemen, including information about targets, weapons the U.S. would be destroying, and attack sequencing. Editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg reported. 2 hours after Goldberg received the details on the attack, the U.S. carried out the details discussed in the group chat against the targets in Yemen. The messaging app Signal is a messaging app popular with journalists and government officials around the world, but is not an official government encrypted chat app. Former senior intelligence officers said they were horrified by the reports, and current lawmakers are calling for a full investigation.
President Trump has chosen Susan Monterez to lead the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. Monterez was already the acting director. Trump made the announcement Monday on Truth Social. Quote, Dr. Monterez brings decades of experience championing innovation, transparency, and strong public health systems, Trump wrote. As acting director, Monterez scrubbed the agency's website of anything related to gender ideology. Trump wrote that Monterez will be working closely with Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy, Jr.
President Trump signed an executive order for state and local governments to play a more active and significant role for disaster preparations. He has said that he is considering getting rid of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which is the country's disaster response arm. The need for FEMA isn't needed, but a good state government is, Trump says. Emergency management experts say the order wouldn't do much to shift responsibility as of now. Local and state governments are already in charge of disasters. The question is if Trump administration will begin withdrawing the federal resources and funding that states rely on.
You know, like those TikToks that are like living in the US POV, and it's like all the headlines, and it's like Trump did this, Trump did that. That's kind of how I feel right now.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, most of our national news nowadays is what is Trump adding, what is Trump doing?
Yeah, it's like, how is the world fundamentally changing today? Tune in.
But thank you for watching Uindy TV News.
Be sure to check out all other Uindy TV productions on our YouTube at Uindy TV and on Xfinity Channel 1096.
And as always, have a good night.
And be safe, Indy.